very happy to be here on behalf of the Mayor and City Council. We welcome you and thank you for your continued support here in the city. So thank you.
All right, let's see. I hope we get good.
All right. There you go.
Looking really good.
Introduce yourself in the way that you would want to introduce yourself.
So my name is Marvin, also known as MJO23DAN on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Got a pretty decent following. Mostly, regular guy, just likes sneakers. Just started when I was 15 years old, just collecting sneakers. Started with the Concord 11 and just grew from there. We used to watch MJ growing up and just watching them play, and then all of a sudden we started getting the retro game going on, and just started to accumulate a collection that just never was really stopping. So just decided to branch out, kind of share my passion with everyone else, and here we are.
Absolutely. So there was a lot of information there, so I'm going to try to dissect a little bit of it. But the first thing that really intrigues me is the name. Why MJO23DAN? And I gotta be 100. Sometimes I gotta look and I gotta go, because I feel like I say it wrong.
Yeah. It started out when we were on the forums.
Okay.
Soul Collector, Nike Talk, all those guys. You had to choose a nickname. I wanted to choose something that was, what I liked, Michael Jordan. So I hit the M, the Jordan, I took out the R, put the 23 in there, and Joe23DAN. And I know it's funny too, because people are just like, yo, M-O-J, Ojo, M-Joe, and I have people chop it up every now and then, but I'm not hard to find.
Absolutely. That's just my apology in front, so if I say it wrong, but you're probably used to it, in terms of...
Yeah, and I wanted to change it, in the beginning. It was just like, well, should I continue on with it, or should I switch it up? But, you kind of grow like this brand that you pretty much stick with. And
absolutely.
That's pretty much how I have to stick with. So
it's not broken, so no,
it's not broken. I fix it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you're from the Bay Area.
Well, I would say Moreland, so close to Sacramento.
Okay, close to Sacramento, so more Northern California.
Yep, Northern California.
Have you been there all your life?
No, so my wife is from, we'll say Stockton. That's where I'm currently residing now. She grew up there. We both went to school down south in Southern California.
Okay.
I'm originally from San Diego.
Okay.
So when we got situated with our careers and everything like that, she wanted to move back home, be closer to her family. I said it was cool. Cost of living's fine. The SoCal prices of houses and living and everything is too much. So decided to move back up there, and I've been living there since 2008. So
okay.
10, 11 years.
But primarily on the West Coast, which leads to
Yes.
the question that I was getting to. So many different things, fashion, music, whatever. We talk about the differences between the coast, East Coast to West Coast. As a person that's passionate about sneakers, give me a couple of differences that you find about maybe East Coast to West Coast, and then some similarities.
Yeah, so I mean, it's universal language, really, sneakers, right? I don't really see too much of a difference here, other than like the vibe. So if you're coming out to California, you see like I don't know, just like the aesthetic is different. Like you have the exposed brick here on the walls, just really rustic and just of the community, right? There. It's cool too. I love, I've been living on the West Coast for some time, but not too much difference to me. I mean, there's a passion for sneakers, there's a love for it. I feel like you can pick up any conversation with anybody just, talking sneakers. So it's a universal language.
So obviously, a lot of what we do in the sneaker community flows through social media now, because it just allows us to be able to reach out and touch, not only coast to coast, but other places of the world. So it's just kind of making a much smaller community. I'm going to talk a little bit about social media and kind of your journey into it. What was kind of your, you mentioned like the Nike Talk and so forth, was that kind of your first kind of coming into social media as it relates to sneakers?
Yeah, from a social aspect, yes. So we always had people, kids growing up, just liking sneakers, talking about it, clipping things out of newspapers and putting it on the wall, back in the day, posters, whatever. But as far as social media, the forums was definitely, an aspect that really branched out to like, there's actually somebody in Maryland that actually likes the same thing that I do. And that's just the universal language again, talking about it and, getting to know what their likes, what their interests are, and you actually form relationships, personal relationships through it, and I think that's really dope. So, and just having to build it really, it's not easy by any means. Again, I have like 38,000 subscribers, and even on YouTube as well, but it's just having to continue on and pushing through and, just getting people to like the content,
Do you find being overwhelmed at any time in terms of like self-pressure to like, I haven't done a video, or I need to really engage more?
Yeah, well, I mean, my style really is whenever I feel like it. I don't want to be able to put that pressure on putting a video out every single day, because it's just not real. If it was my like actual career, yeah, I would probably do so in order to sustain myself. But this is probably still like kind of like a hobby to me still.
Okay.
But still keeping up with the following, I think it's really important to be able to still expand yourself. As far as like from a social aspect, but also from a branding aspect too. So, if you have that following, I think it's really important to be able to continue to grow. You can't really get stuck in the past too much, because things are always evolving.
So I don't know if you remember this, but I actually reached out to you, and I want to tell you this face to face. I think I DM'd you because I had picked up some jerseys and I wasn't sure about them, and I was kind of searching around, and your name popped up. It's like, hey, there's a guy who really knows. And I want to say that the fact that you responded and that we interacted, and that was like, I was just out of the blue. You didn't know me from the next guy or girl, but that you did respond, and the answer that you gave was 100% honest. Like, I can, give you, this one looks like this looks like that, but I'm not really sure without being able to put my hands on it. And I really appreciate that. How do you find your interactions in terms of with your subscribers and followers?
So I pretty much get that daily. I get a lot of DMs every single day. I don't say I'm tired of it. I do get a lot of repetitive stuff like, can you legit check something? And like, my deal is like, I'll buy the sneaker, from the retailer or whatnot, or it gets sent to me or something like that. And I'll show it to you on camera. And, that's the way that you can do your own self-legit check. Like, I'm not here really trying to answer DMs like, is this real or is this fake? Like, I want to actually have a conversation. So if you have something that you want to come bring to the table, like, could it benefit both of us, or you just want to like chop it up? There's definitely many people out there that do that I form relationships and interactions with. So I think that's that's a great aspect altogether as far as like the sneaker community when it comes together.
One of the things that social media has also brought is some things that maybe are all not positive.
Right.
You know, people are people, and we have no control over kind of how people want to move. But you know, just talk to me a little bit about kind of your perspective. I'm not trying to get you to out anybody or anything like that, but you know, kind of how you maneuver within that and not getting caught up in the, you know, the IG beefs or, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, that's everywhere, right? You know, not just from the social aspect, but people do say mean things over the internet, and it's not something that they would actually say to you in front of your face unless there was some type of altercation, right? I'm not gonna go up to you, I don't know you or anything, and be like, yo, I hate your guts. Like, why are you trying to pick a fight, really? And I feel like that kind of branches down sometimes the mental aspect of things and how, you know, it affects people, because you're out there trying to do something positive and you have haters coming in trying to bring you down. You really just have to look at it from a positive perspective. Yo, maybe he's not having a good day today. Something happened in their life that, you know, they need to just have prayers answered or what. So, you know, there's people that have good days, bad days. I'm not saying that everyone's gonna have a good day, because everyone does have bad days, but you know, you take the good with the bad, and that's pretty much how you have to deal with social media.
I would agree with you. Almost sometimes I feel like I have to kind of push down like what my initial, you know, response would be, because like you say, you just don't know. And at the end of the day, I feel like for me, it's just not worth it to kind of get into that.
Yeah. Because you really have to look at it as like, what do you benefit out of just bickering and going back and forth with someone that maybe may not like what you do, and they just want to bring you down for some reason.
Right.
You know, you really have to think about what's the positive that's going to come out of this.
So we're sitting here inside of a beautiful brick and mortar sneaker boutique. I want to make sure that I say that correctly. Congratulations to Tyler and David and Nichole and their newest edition of Footage Society. But in terms of like, for you, if you had to choose between the maybe quickness and instant gratification of sometimes buying online or coming into a brick and mortar location like that, where do you fall on that?
Yeah, so I was just telling Nichole a little while ago that you know, I had a choice between Baltimore or Maryland to go to a sneaker shop. Mm-hmm. And I was back here in December and January for Christmas. And my family lives out in Gambles, so Laurel was actually the closest spot to go to. I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate some time away from the family to go do sneakers, because I need that break, right? So came out to Laurel, instantly just like had a connection with the shop, with Nichole's, you know, personality and everything. And I just thought it was great. It's something that's missing, right, in sneakers. And you can't really just get the instant gratification of going online, getting a sneaker, and it's like done, right? It's off to the next day. You come into a brick and mortar shop like Footage Society, and it's like, this is the people, this is our community. How can we help you today? You know, is there a sneaker that you're looking for? Is there, you know, and then just the conversation starts coming up, and you start forming relationships, and that's just like the best part of sneakers to me.
I would agree with you 100%. I think friends of mine that I've met within the sneaker game know I say this all the time. The most important thing to me, the best thing that I've gotten in terms of this particular journey and involving myself in the community has been the relationships. And not only just the relationships, but the fact that, you know, this cloth and rubber and glue has allowed an opportunity for you to reach out and to meet people like Mama right here, and become part of your life that are just like, you know, you can't replace that. Don't go no place. I'm gonna get a chair for you because they're cutting off your head right now. Right here. I think that it's like you have an opportunity to become more like extended family. And I think that's just one of the dopest things. I don't know, I've read your information, I've watched your videos before, so I know that it is the sneakers that give you that visceral, and I mean, it's just like anything that you love. It reminds you of a time, and then when you have that memory, you know, everything just kind of flows behind that. How have you found your moving in terms of relationships and the people that you've met and the places that you've been able to go?
Yeah, so again, when I visited Footage Society, Nichole, like pretty much just with open arms, just like, yo, this is our shop, this is what we do, and she was really excited about, having to share, yo, this is us. Been here since 2015. I was like, yo, I have to do a video. Like, I really just wanted to come out here, support. And when she said that there was a grand opening coming up in a few months, and I was like, I had to come back because I really felt that connection was like, yo, these guys are trying to do something, and I needed to like use my following to be able to share.
Yeah, and I think one of the things too is that for you just to be like, hey, can I just video you guys and not ask for any money or anything? I think that's also another thing that is definitely something that people should know. As far as how humble you were in your visit. Because we get a lot of people that's like, hey, I'll come over and do a video, especially having the platform that you have. People's like, oh, I'll do a video charging $10,000, charging $5,000. And for him to humbly just come, we had no connections before then, and he just came in on the humble and was like, hey, I'm in town. It was supposed to be a family trip, but I think I want to sneak out.
Yeah, that's definitely how it went, so.
And then from there we connected and we talked about you coming back for the grand opening. So I'm glad that we was able to make that happen.
Yeah.
So since we have you sitting here,
Yeah.
this is year 4.
You be asking some really tough questions sometimes.
This is year 4, right?
We're going on the 4th year.
Going into year 4, right? And you're in a new location. Just how does it feel?
Honestly, it still hasn't even settled. I'm not settled. We're still working. There's still things that we want to work on and continue to improve. So, anybody that says like running a shop is something easy, and then it's not. It really isn't. So I haven't even settled. Like the other day when you had asked, have you looked at your signs up? And I was like, I haven't even had a chance to really just take it in. So I think it's, I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of how we have grown. We started at a really small shop, probably with, I don't know, maybe like 100 sneakers, if that. And we didn't know how the community was going to take us. I didn't know how they were going to welcome us. Me being a female, my son at that point was probably in 9th grade. Yeah, and then David, and so we didn't know how the community was going to take us. And as time has gone on, I think maybe a year afterwards when we looked back and we was like, oh snap, like we're really doing this.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually really doing this. And for us, it was, and it still is, it's a hobby that we love. And we just, that's really what it is. And now we have so much relationship with our community. We've now have been able to provide so many different services to the community as well. And our clients are our family. Like, we know when they go on interviews, we know their family, we know their kids, we know their wives, we know their husbands. So this is a very family-based, when I say family, I'm not talking about us 3 as owners, but with our, I hate to say clients, but for the lack of a better word, we're gonna say clients, just to be able to identify. But yeah, I'm just humbled that we're actually here, and none of us have ever been in retail. So that was the other thing. So having that small shop has allowed us to strengthen our process, to work on customer service, to work on, inventory and all the back things that people don't think about. Because people think, oh, you're just sitting in the shop waiting for customers. They don't realize all the stuff that happens in the back. And so I think now that after 3.5 years, we are ready to be in a more visible place as we are now. A bigger shop, have more products, more services. And so yeah, we're definitely ready, but I'm excited. I just have not taken it all in yet. Like, oh snap, we have moved to a bigger shop. I think that's what I thought maybe like 2 weeks ago when we were still working on the shop, and I was like, this is actually a lot of work. Like, I was just thinking painting the walls and we call it a day, and it's like, no, you're actually doing a whole renovation here.
Like I thought you got, like I was thinking about you when the signs were going up, because that's when you know it's official. People on the street are seeing you, you know, and like, even when I was telling you before I walked in here, yo, when does the shop open? Like they were looking through the windows and they're excited to come through. So I think that even like just having that identity brand with the community is just, yeah.
And then I don't know, did you notice that we're gonna actually have a drive-through?
Yeah, I did a
For
video.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah. So we'll
I
have
think
a
it will.
drive-through for the cleaning services, and so that's gonna be up in maybe a month or two. We're looking at, but that's gonna be one of the. I think for me and the guys is important that we look different than all the other shops, right? Like I want us to look different. I want us to provide something different. And so for us, we have like right now we just brought in the sneaker bags, the containers from the container store, the shoe boxes, the cleaning supplies, everything related to sneakers, laces, because I don't know, it's for a check.
It's okay.
I hate going to one place and then I have to go down the block to another place. So I want it to be a one-stop shop, right? Like I don't want to get my nails done here, my hands, and then go and get a pedicure somewhere else.
So we're seeing some of what is the future of Footage Society. Talk to me a little bit about the future of MJO23DAN. Like I see you have you're branching out and you're branding on the shirts, and maybe it's something that you've done in the past. I don't want to make it like it's completely brand new, but like where are you hoping to kind of take the things that you're doing?
I mean, it starts with the youth, right? So a lot of people don't know about MJ, never watched MJ play, right? My job, I feel, and I don't want to say influencer, I want to say mentor. I want to mentor the young generation saying, yo, this is why I love sneakers. It's not about, you know, taking the sneaker, flipping it. Like there's actual people behind like why we love every single sneaker. Like there's people that design the sneaker. Like there's that field, you know, there's advertising, there's you know, just the general love of sneakers. And so I feel like I don't even say responsibility, because it's really up to the person whether they want to continue doing it or not. But I just feel like if I'm sharing a passion with someone, I want to be able to kind of instill something or bring out something that somebody's never felt in a sneaker culture. So I guess that's where I see myself is, you know, and then just like the shirts and the branding, and that's just little stuff for me, like just whatever, you know, just fun. And it's a support thing. So I mean, if people love what I do, hey, that's great. But I'm not really in it to, you know, just like, yo, I need like 100 million subscribers. Like, just support it. Like, if you support it, cool. And that's pretty much like how my mentality is always been.
Man, I could sit here and talk to you all day. We're going to be hanging out today, so
Yes.
I know we're going to have some other opportunity to chop it up. But just want to, you know, kind of have a sit down with you on behalf of Nichole and David and Tyler and the entire Footage Society family. You know, we appreciate you coming out, and I say we because I'm part of this family too. And you know, Nichole and my meeting was very similar to yours. I didn't even know I live in this area. I didn't know they had a sneaker shop. I found out they had one on Main Street, and you know, 2 years after that, her son is escorting my daughter to prom, and he's more like a son to me than he is, you know, just somebody else's kid. You know, Nichole is like a pain in the butt sister to me. And so it absolutely is about family, 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 family,